And what tools, platforms, or models of AI do you recommend for beginners, especially those from non-traditional backgrounds?
Certainly. I believe if you have $20 a month to spend, that it's the best $20 a month you will spend. I do believe that it's becomes an assistant that at the $20 a month, whatever platform you're on, it gives you extra bells and whistles. And our thought is all about empowerment of the individual. We are here using AI different than most everybody else you talk to. We are here building AI tools that empower the individual to make them irreplaceable. We don't believe in replacing anybody. We believe in augmenting the individual. So whether it's on the business side or on the nonprofit side, it's making sure that the individual has the information when they need it. And that's the tool that we built.
Derek, you have built Amazon's highest rated training program. So, what made it so impactful, and how did your neurodiversity influence its creation?
Well, I was trained as a project manager, and in project management, we learned we have no support, we have no authority, we just have to influence people to work with us. So,
folks, you have tuned into TGV, and hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series, the world's only quadrilingual podcast at this moment of recording. And we are trying to embark into multiple languages as we speak. And here we embark on transformative conversations for a better future. And we want to simplify and amplify your journey to success. I'm your host, Navin Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place by bringing you wisdom through valuable discussions with experts designed to simplify and amplify your success. And thank you so much for tuning in. So, folks, we are joined by an autistic, dyslexic, and ADHD innovator, Derek Crager. He built Amazon's highest rated employee training program and now leads Practical AI, a free learning community helping neurodiverse individuals leverage artificial intelligence to grow their income. And with a mission to make AI both accessible and human, they are reshaping how inclusive tech education should look in the modern world. So, Derek, hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series. How are you doing today?
well, thank you. That was very indeed a warm welcome, Naveen. I appreciate it. I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Excellent. So, first things first, why should somebody tune into a conversation today and spend their valuable time?
Oh, wow. Well, you got a wonderful show for one. I think that's the biggest instance. And I'm here as either a novelty item or something of intrigue. But hopefully that by the time this conversation is over, we spark some ideas in the community out there.
Absolutely. So, folks, today we are going to delve into an interesting conversation on the topic at hand, from neurodivergent to Trailblazer, the inclusive future of artificial intelligence. But before we get started, here is an exciting twist as always. Let us tickle our guest's brain first. So, Derek, get ready for a rapid fire round of random words. I'll mention a few, and I would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response without thinking much. And if you're ready, let's dive in.
Hello, I'm Steve Ahern, one of the judges of the Asia Podcast Awards. I'm interrupting this episode to let you know that you're listening to an award-winning podcast. This podcast won its category in the 2024 Podcast Awards, so you know you're listening to quality. Enjoy your listening experience, and congratulations to the team who created this award-winning podcast for you.
All right.
My first word is curiosity.
Oh, curiosity. Look, the cat.
Invention.
Tesla.
Future.
Now.
Universe.
Everything.
Leadership.
Support.
Success.
Acceptance.
Life.
Family.
Aliens.
Family.
Career.
Ah, um, career teaching.
Okay. And comes the last one. Diversity.
Oh, diversity. Yeah. Acceptance.
Excellent. Spot on responses. And thank you so much for participating in rapid fire round number 1. Yes, you heard it right. There is one more rapid fire round at the end of the episode. So stay tuned. And also appreciate you being part of our journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe. So we'll get started direct. Talk to us about who is your guiding voice.
My guiding voice. My guiding voice has I say it's something inside me, but I think it's a combination of everything that exists in the world. I'm very much a believer in spirituality, not tied to a specific religion. I believe that if we combined Eastern religion with Western religion, we might have a true North Star. So my guiding voice has always been one of listening and finding out what we have in common, because I think it's those things in common is what truly guides us.
Okay, excellent. And talk to us about your success mantra, as in top 3 things that have contributed to your success so far.
Oh, perseverance and pain threshold, and let's see, teamwork.
All right, good one. And Derek, you have built Amazon's highest rated training program. So, what made it so impactful, and how did your neurodiversity influence its creation?
Well, I was trained as a project manager, and in project management, we learned we have no support, we have no authority, we just have to influence people to work with us. So, the success I had at Amazon, it started with getting volunteers from across the network to assist me, and the program itself, what was really driving is that on a 5-day, 40-hour training program, we spent the first day just getting to know ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and getting to know each other. It had nothing to do with Amazon this or Amazon that. It was learning about ourselves and learning how to communicate with others. And it all came down to respect and an acknowledgement. And the way that neurodiversity influences creation, I was diagnosed at age 50. That's 50. Sometimes people say the big 50. But I was my first year at Amazon, and I cried for 2 weeks, Naveen. And upon the diagnosis, I kind of suspected some things, but just knowing, I was categorized, and humans like categories. So I after about 2 weeks of crying, and it was more relief than pain at this point, I embraced my neurodiversity. I put in on my corporate email in the signature, I said, "Hey, I'm autistic, and so if something doesn't come through, let's book some one-on-one time to straighten out any miscommunication, because my thought patterns are different." I had in there, I said, I use open dyslexic font. So if you see something that looks like heavy letters, that's just me, because it allows me to read a little bit better. And it was this embracing. I felt for the first time, I was actually myself. For the first time in my life, I felt I was being me. And that connected me with a lot of other people in the neurodiverse community at Amazon. And we had great conversations, and it allowed us to get through those walls or those barriers. And it actually gave me insight, because a lot of us that are different, we're used to being the odd duck. And so we're very empathetic when we see other people in that situation. So I leveraged everything that I did and went into the program. And that's why day one was all about getting to know ourselves as a group and getting to know each other, so we'd have a point of communication.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got it. And uh, being autistic, dyslexic, and ADHD, you might have come across so many challenges. And how did those challenges shape your leadership philosophy?
Um, Yeah, that's good. The dyslexic part, I thought I was just a slow reader. I just thought my brain didn't work, and well, I guess to a certain extent that's the way it was. But um, I uh, I learned that just because we're different, and I spent 4 decades trying to fit into everybody else's version of normal, that this allowed me to understand and be more empathetic to um, uh, to those around us. And I truly believe in servant leadership,
Hmm.
and servant leadership means not telling people what to do, but supporting them in what they need to do, and being empathy or empathetic there is a good insight into that.
Hmm. Yeah, got it. And let's talk about practical AI, right? So, how did the idea come to your life, and what problem were you solving for?
Okay, well, I think the problem I was solving was boredom, or curiosity, hobbyist in that, and the term practical and practical AI just means, hey, we've got so many buzzwords out there, headlines, that saying, the sky is falling, AI is going to kill us, and then on the other hand, people say AI is going to save us, and it's all big brash headlines just to well, I can't say sell newspapers because we don't have newspapers anymore, but sell articles and links. But the practical part really comes from, hey, let's
Hmm.
break this down into something that we can actually use and just kind of look past all the distractions. So that was the combination there.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. And what does barrier-free education truly mean to you, and how is it being implemented in your community?
Barrier free education means having the information you need when you need it in the amount that you need it. And that's I have the nonprofit side, which is our community, which is what I'm here to speak about. I have a for-profit side where we build tools for industry to leverage to empower their employees. And
Mhm.
our thought is all about empowerment of the individual. We are here using AI different than most everybody else you talk to. We are here building AR tools that empower the individual to make them irreplaceable. We don't
Mhm.
believe in replacing anybody. We believe in augmenting the individual. So whether it's on the business side or on the nonprofit side, it's making sure that the individual has the information when they need it. And that's the tool that we've built. Now on the community side, we use that as an example, but just because that's our product that we built, the community is all about what the community wants to do. So we're actually about supporting the community using AI to empower them, because the neurodiverse demographic has the lowest employment rate, highest unemployment rate,
Mhm.
regardless of skin color, culture, religion. It's because we don't socialize as well. We don't get to keep our jobs as long.
Mhm.
So this is where if we give individuals these tools that they can build their own gig, their own business, their own company, their own contract work, it empowers them. It puts them in a position that they control rather than knocking on doors trying to get a job from somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. And also, can you talk about some of the biggest myths or misconceptions about neurodivergent individuals in tech spaces?
Well, I think the biggest myth or misconception is that we can't socialize. Now, even though that's a stereotype and it applies quite often, it's the fact that we can socialize and communicate if the language is common, and that's something that we learn about with. And we can go into this later. It's this whole separate topic, but you remember the phrase prompt engineering,
Yep.
that was big a couple of years ago with AI.
Yeah.
We found out that if we ask the right questions in the right way, that AI will respond with the right answer. Same way with us in the autistic and neurodiverse community. If you ask us the right question in the right way, you're going to get the right answer. And all of a sudden, we're communicating instead of expecting us to answer questions that you only know the social impact of.
Hmm. Yeah, got it. And what tools, platforms, or models of AI do you recommend for beginners, especially those from non-traditional backgrounds?
Certainly. I believe if you have $20 a month to spend, that it's the best $20 a month you will spend. I do believe that it's becomes an assistant that
Hmm.
at the $20 a month, whatever platform you're on, it gives you extra bells and whistles. For
Hmm.
example, ChatGPT has projects, and
Hmm.
projects is only available to $20 a month mode. And my goodness, I leverage projects because I dump my diary in there. I interact with it, so I don't have to do anything separate. I put my research in there. I put my personal information, my business information, my nonprofit information, my marketing ideas, my family situation, you name it. I put it in there. Then I ask questions, and it's like I'm talking to myself.
Hmm.
And if I'm focused at high level and I can't get into the weeds or details, then with ChatGPT projects, I can. Now, I'm not going to say ChatGPT projects is the only one, but other recommendations would be Perplexity Spaces.
Hmm.
Perplexity Spaces also allows you to build your own topic or multiple topics. And then there's also, for the most part, it's free, is the Notebook LM by Google. And
Hmm.
Notebook LM has probably led the research in having those individual topics. And just like Leonardo da Vinci had his notebooks that he carried around, and he wrote his ideas in, Notebook LM works the same way. And somebody had the idea of having an everything notebook, meaning every idea that you have, you just throw it in the notebook and just put it there. You write it down, just like Leonardo da Vinci did. And when you want to come back later and say, "Oh, I was talking about, or I was thinking about," you just ask it, and then your answer appears from your curated self knowledge. So
Hmm.
those are the big three.
Hmm. Yeah. Good one. I like it. In fact, I also maintain a notebook. Just as and when some idea comes, I document it there, and I keep revisiting it from time to time and execute some of those ideas. Excellent. And also, thanks for sharing all the AI tools and also talking about your own journey in terms of how they are helping you. Excellent. So let's move forward, Derek. And how are you helping these neurodiverse learners not just understand AI? We also spoke about the monetization part, right? So for sustainable income, can you delve into it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because those of us that are autistic or neurodiverse have trouble connecting with others, or we have limited time that we can connect. Some of us can only, give me an hour in a group and I'm just kind of tired and burnt out. We can use AI, and this is what we teach. We leverage AI to be the soundboard for idea creation, to be the marketing person. If we're talking marketing, give me some marketing ideas on my product. You know my product, and it spits out, so we can use that and create. Um, Specifically, there is something we can use AI dashboards, and there's different tools, whether it be like Windsurf or Replit, where humans with no programming knowledge can actually use AI to build websites,
Mhm.
um, to design, to be creative, to build mobile apps, to build software apps, progressive web apps, and all of this. And the idea is you can make it like you want, and you don't need a team around you. You can
Mhm.
sit there and just iterate any time of day. And then in community, we teach each other and bounce ideas off each other and teach how to use those tools. And then, share idea. Hey, I just did this, or I did this. So that's the good part about community, is that we can still isolate ourselves to do the work, and but we can reach out when we're looking for a helping hand.
Yeah, got it. And Derek, this has been fabulous conversation with tons of insights. And it's time for us to add some more spice and some more excitement to the episode, which means it is a time to kick off the second rapid fire round. So if you're ready, let's dive in. Okay. So here comes the first bullet. If you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
Oh, accept everything around you. Everybody has their own story.
Wow. So powerful. And can you describe yourself in just one word?
Teacher.
A tool or app that changed your life?
It was something in two versions. One back in the DOS mode days, back in 1980, 1990 range. It was called Wisdom of the Ages, and it was a shareware app that we used to pick up on these 5.25-inch floppies. And the software, you would just type in a topic, and it would provide quotes from historical figures. And there was a Windows 3.1 version later, and then I just love the tool because it connected me with the greatest minds in the world.
Thanks for taking us back on time. And next one is like best part about being neurodiverse.
The best part is that I see things in different manners. It's kind of like that story or the metaphor with the 6 blind men that are each touching different parts of the elephant.
Mhm.
And one says, well, the elephant's long and thin like a rope because he's holding the tail. And somebody says, no, it's like a trunk because he's holding the leg. Um, I tend to see all the perspectives at once. And that just allows me to, it takes more time to process. And, people saying, well, didn't you hear me? Speak up. But I think that's the best part for me being on my neurodiversity is that I see multiple angles and perspectives.
Excellent metaphor. Loved it. And a myth about autism you wish the world would forget.
The myth about autism is that we're all the same. Just because we're labeled doesn't mean that we act the same. Some of us that are good at math, for example, and not good at language. There's those of us that are just the opposite. That we're better at language and sometimes in ways that go beyond normal understanding, and we're not good at math. That type of thing. So we're all individuals regardless of what label we have.
Yeah, yeah. Again, a good one. And most unexpected AI use case you have come across.
Most unexpected AI use case. I think it was the one. It was kind of a social trend where somebody would say, "Ask your AI based on what you know about me. Tell me what I can work on, or tell me what I'm good at, or tell me what I need to work on." Those type of insightful questions, from a self-diagnosis, judgment-free zone. I think that's great because it's genuine feedback from our own diary.
Good one. And you get 10 minutes with Elon Musk or Sam Altman. Who and what do you ask?
Oh, you got a loan? You got some money to spare? I well well, it's interesting because we all know that Elon Musk is autistic, and he doesn't hide that at all. He embraces it, and maybe that's why he is so successful is what he does because he embraces that. Sam Altman, I don't know. Sam Altman is just straightforward, and I like the way that he talks about the negatives as much as the positives, whether it's with OpenAI or just AI in general.
Mhm.
So I think I would ask the question, "What's next?" and just sit there and listen.
Excellent. And a failure that turned into a blessing.
A failure that turned into a blessing. I think for me, I was working at Coca-Cola when I was 18,
Mhm.
and I thought that it was the greatest job in the world. I thought that I was making good money, and that would be me. I would work at Coca-Cola, and then I got fired on my 89th day. And I was just thankful that my first connection with a true big company, I could have just stayed there and just been that person. But
Mhm.
because I got fired, I was able to go out and explore other options in life.
Yeah, yeah, good one. And here comes the last one for the second rapid fire round. What is one electronic gadget or a fantasy gadget that you like to see or invent yourself?
I think that would be a button where we can get the answers no matter where we're at.
Superb. Okay. And let's flip back to the mainstream. And if you had to redesign the entire education system for neurodiverse learners, where would you begin?
Well, I would begin with the advantage of having today's technology, and I would make sure that every learner, whether neurodiverse or not, had an ombudsman, their own personal AI that they can sit on their shoulder. You know, we've seen this in video games and movies and TV shows about an AI that somebody's walking through life, they ask for advice. I would want to see that for every person in school. There's adults that become chaperones and guide, but you can't scale that, and it's rare, and it's usually only in the higher income districts, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Got it. Wow. Simply amazing conversation, and all the answers were crisp and to the point. And I thoroughly enjoyed talking to you. And how is your experience being hosted on TGV, the guiding voice?
Oh, this is great. I'm grateful for the invite, and it's just incredible that the outreach that you do and the topics you go through. Interview to interview. So I'm just thankful and grateful to be part of that.
Yeah. Most welcome, and looking forward to hosting you again in future. And I wish you all the best on everything that you do. So thank you once again for being part of our journey.
Thank you.
So, friends, that was our episode with Derek Crager. Before we jump into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request. If you have enjoyed the conversation and found it useful, request you to share with at least 3 of your friends or colleagues or family members who would also like TGV, the guiding voice. So spread the knowledge and help others grow just like you. Now it's time for us to hop into the trivia segment. Today's trivia is about 2 lesser known and intriguing facts about the origins of the term neurodiversity. You know, the term was coined by a sociologist, not a doctor or psychologist. The word neurodiversity was coined in 1998 by Judy Singer, an Australian sociologist who is herself on the autism spectrum, and she introduced the term not as a medical or clinical label but as a social justice and civil rights concept intended to reframe neurological differences like autism, ADHD, and dyslexia as natural variations of the human mind, not as deficits or disorders. And her goal was to shift the conversation from treatment to inclusion. And the second fact is that neurodiversity was inspired by the broader diversity movement. Judy Singer was deeply influenced by the disability rights and LGBTQ plus movements of the 90s. She envisioned neurodiversity as the next frontiers of diversity, believing that the same frameworks used to embrace racial, gender, and sexual diversity could be applied to cognitive and neurological diversity too. So it was never just a clinical concept, it was a call for cultural change. So this is it from the trivia perspective. Likewise, if you are aware of any leader who belongs to neurodiverse spectrum, and if you think we have to host them, do let me know about them, and we will definitely invite and feature them as guests. So, folks, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and also for being part of our awesome TGV family. So, until next time, take care, stay inspired, and remember, the best is yet to come. Goodbye for now. See you all in the next episode with another amazing guest. Take care. Love you all. Bye bye.